Ready?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Yuna. My topic is should the government regulate fake news on social media? And today, social media is so popular that it has been a main source of news. Only 1/3 American adults never get news on social media. But the problem is in my opinion, there's too much fake news on social media. Some fake news, the readers couldn't distinguish by themselves whether the news they read is fake or true. Some fake news is fabricated based on real story. It looks like real with detailed date, person, and place. Shira Franco, the writer from New York Times, gave an example. A false story claimed that 412 Muslim men in Michigan had been arrested in the largest bust in U.S. history. But what's the fact? The Department of Justice investigation on which the story was based revealed a network of 412 people involved in opioid-related crimes, but they are never exclusively Muslim, nor based in Michigan. In some situations, the fake news is not a serious issue, but the gossip won't influence our life. But some fake news impact our world strongly. The fake news and misinformation influenced the outcome of presidential campaign. The midterm elections tomorrow are being influenced by them too. On October 19, this year, the Justice Department charged a Russian woman in the picture. Her name is Elena Alexeyevna Kuznetsova. She is charged with interfering in U.S. political system, including the 2018 midterm election and the 2016 presidential race. She helped to spread election misinformation through fake social media accounts. The fake news and misinformation are such serious problems that social media companies like Facebook and Twitter has been regulating fake news themselves. Shira said, this month Twitter took down a network of 50 accounts that it said were being run by Americans posing as Republican state lawmakers. Twitter said the accounts were geared toward voters in all 50 states. On Thursday, Facebook said it had identified 559 pages and 251 accounts run by Americans, many of which amplified false and misleading content in a coordinated fashion. But another problem is how to standardize these companies' regulation. Only depends on their own ethics. Chris McGinn, the writer for Los Angeles Times, told us, social media networks have pledged to crack down on foreign influence companies, deleting fraudulent accounts and increasing transparency around their operations. But the affidavit said Russians continue to purchase advertisements on Facebook and Instagram in the first 6 months of this year. spending more than $66,000. Another $18,000 was allegedly budgeted for managing Twitter accounts. Based on this fact, I think it's better to formulate a law or industry standard for the fake news regulation. It's true that many people worry about the regulation by government will destroy the free speech, just like the situation in China and Russia. Nevertheless, there are different laws, culture, and supervision mechanism among American, China, and Russia. While Chinese and Russian governments regulate the social media to destroy the free speech, why couldn't American government formulate a law of standardizing the social media regulation without suppressing free speech? The regulation of fake news and the protection of free speech are not necessarily contradictory, like honesty and free speech. The impact of fake news and false information is huge. It has crossed the line of free speech. It's influencing the politics, the unity of different races and religions, and the American culture. Our life shouldn't be full of misinformation and lies. The fake news on social media should be regulated by government. Thank you. This is my work setting.
Okay, questions?
I have a question. So how exactly is the government going to regulate these fake news? Like if the accounts who are posting these fake news are anonymous, if you don't know the identity of these writers or who are posting, how do you exactly regulate them?
I think we can use some technology method to recognize the fake news. And I think it's not for avoid the fake news. It can recognize the fake news and delete it.
But still people can see it and forward it. You know, I can see the news until the technology is coming and delete it, I can see it and can take the post and send it to another, and it's just...
Maybe we can post the fact to against the fake news.
But you know, people always like to believe whatever they see first. You know, when they see the first news, oh, I just believe this. I don't. So the problem is in the fake news or in the people. They believe it.
I think the main point is in the fake news. We shouldn't, for our network and our life shouldn't be full of lies. And maybe some people would like to believe what they want to believe. But the main point is we shouldn't receive or keep that fake news on social media to spread to more people.
Does that mean censorship? That's censoring, right?
Yeah, it's a kind of censorship. But I think we could formulate a law without suppressing the free speech, because we can think about many methods to avoid destroying the free speech. We could do that before the censorship is sorry. Before the censorship, I think we can formulate the law before the censorship.
So, who do you think is the responsible? Is the social media company like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or is the government? Who should be regulating this, the government or the companies?
I think not only the companies should do that first, but the government or maybe organize, sorry,
Organization.
organization, yeah, or organization of this industry, they can do a more fair thing than one company, because the companies would receive money from the foreign influence or other company. They hope to make the fake news. So
how they are gonna regulate that without affecting free speech? How they are gonna forbid people to write whatever they want to write without being that free speech violation?
I think we, the government or the public would have a balance in the regulation of censorship.
In fact, it's hard to regulate by the government because speech freedom, American has a speech freedom.
Yeah, I agree. We should keep speech freedom, but I think we can think about one method to keep balance of the free speech and the regulation. I think it's not necessarily contradictory between the free speech and the honesty.
Okay, any other questions?
I learned that every news reflects a writer's opinion. So if government control the news, I think it's kind of dictatorship. So how do you think about it?
I think the news shouldn't be controlled by government. It just regulate the fake news, not all news. And it's not regulate different opinions, just the fake news, like the example. The fact is 412 persons arrested, but they are not Muslim and they are not in Michigan. I think someone fabricate that news with the religion items issues. So I think we should regulate the fake news like that. The fact, the real things, whenever whatever the opinions they are, I think they shouldn't be regulated.
In what way?
It's hard. It's almost impossible.
Because if you give the government the control, that's going to be dictatorship, right? We both know if you come from China, right? No Russians here. I acknowledge that. Though people think they have the freedom of speech, they do not. They can think whatever, but there is no freedom because once you give the government a little chance to regulate, how can you make sure that they're not going to give what's in their best interests?
So I think in my opinion, the best way is not by a government, it's by an organization of the industry. They can.
Which organization do you have a specific example in mind?
Like the movie industry, they have an organization and they regulate the movie rates. Before, movie don't have rate system.
Okay.
And then they developed a rate system.
But
Then
the rate system is based on the language and nudity, right? So some pornographic scenes, the language that's used. So what will the standard be in your opinion? What do you think?
I think the companies, they can develop standard. Yeah.
All right, thank you.